Hi guys, Chamion here from Food by Chamion. I hope all is well. I am going to do a no bake granola bar for you all, or granola bars for you all. It's more on the chewy side. Let me see now. When you are looking for granola bars that's hard or firm, they are baked. Okay, so for this you will need I am doubling up on this recipe, so let me say now. So if you are thinking the measurements that I called out looks way different from what I am using, you will in fact be correct. So I am going to use a half cup of butter. I'm not calling bran or margarine, use the one that you are comfortable with. I'm going to be using 1 cup of golden syrup. You can use corn syrup. I'm going to be using 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 4 cups of oats, old-fashioned oats or roll oats, and I am just going to be adding the other stuff from there. Keep in mind, you are going to need 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. Remember I said I'm doubling up, so you are going to need 4. Simply just divide it in half. Okay, so let's say you want to go with 4. If you want to use double up, you're going to just double up based on what I call now. So for no confusion, or if you are somewhat confused, just comment below and I'll guide you through. Remember I said you will need half cup of butter, 1 cup of honey or golden syrup, even corn syrup, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 4 cups of rolled oats or old-fashioned oats. You can put your flaxseed and so forth in there, but most important, you will need that 4 tablespoons of peanut butter. Remember, it have the chunky peanut butter and all different types, right? If you're more on the health conscious side and you have different allergies and so forth, look for something that you can substitute in the place of the peanut butter. I have a lot of butters going on for my health conscious supporters and viewers, okay? So I know you all understood. Simply divide it by 2 if you don't want as much bars as I am going to use, or even go the way if you want as much as I'm going to make, because school's out in a lot of nations of the earth. Just simply follow through with the measurements that I'm using, okay? So I am using double the amount of ingredients that I called out. Okay, I know you all understood. Let's go now with this demo. You want to start by getting a pan, a solid bottom pan or pot. I have my pan on the fire already, and you have to get your syrup or your honey in there with your butter. So let's do that. So you saw the butter was added, okay? Doesn't matter if you chop up the butter or not, or cut up the butter. It's going to melt in any event. You don't want brown butter. You are just going to do this for the butter to melt, and then we're going to add the syrup, okay? Whenever I'm making these, the kitchen smells just amazing, because remember we have so much stuff going on. As I get closer to incorporating all the stuff that I have for my own, I'm going to call it out for you all. This is some really good, and this is the thing. When you make your stuff yourself at home, sometimes you can't help it because life happens, okay? But when you make yourself at home, you can put exactly what you like in it, what you can tolerate, and so forth and so forth. Some persons have bad allergies to all other stuff. You can just omit what you can't have, okay? Even for the health conscious persons. I'm going to add my syrup at this point. Already smells so good. Remember the tips I always give on using a spatula that's reserved strictly for dessert making, right? If it's my first demo that you are watching, keep in mind that plastic, colors and fragrance attaches itself to plastic. So that's why you want to have one reserved, because you don't want awful cross flavors of seasonings and so forth on your desserts. So this is one that I have reserved strictly for dessert making. If you go through my channel or you are familiar with my work, you'll realize on a lot of the dessert demos, you see the spatula showing up a lot. You see how it's bubbling and nice? That's what we are looking for. Yeah? Very easy to do. And that way you can control what your families is eat, what they are eating, or what you are eating also. So it's foaming, that's what we want. It's golden in color. That's what we are looking for also. So now would be a good time. We are just less than a minute away from getting it off the fire. So now is where I'm going to take it off and start adding my oats, my peanut butter first, then my oats. Simply because why I'm adding this now is going to cut somewhat liquefy in the syrup. You don't want that that peanut butter. If you put in the oats, it's common sense. I always ask you to use a lot of wisdom. If you put in the oats, then try adding this 4 tablespoons of peanut butter. Remember, I am using a double recipe. If you are using just half of this, you'll only be using 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. If you try to add this, when you add the oats, what's going to happen, you're going to have a very hard time getting this distributed once the oats sticks up. That's what I wanted to say. I want to say again, if you are unsure of any step that I might have taught during this demo, simply comment below and I will guide you through the steps, okay? I'm going to also get my vanilla in there at this stage. It just smells just lovely. Persons, if they love peanut butter and they are smelling this, they probably going, you know, like, what's going on? You know, a lot of persons love peanut butter, unless they are probably allergic. At nice, salty, creamy, you know. Yeah? So in goes my extract. It's from an essence house. It's very potent or concentrated. And I'm getting ready to add my oats at this stage. It smells a lot like, you know that there's a local candy that's made with like peanuts and so forth. That's what it smells like. It's hard, it's like a fudge, but it's made of peanut. That's what the entire kitchen smells like. You want to have patience when you are doing things like these, okay? Don't get angry, don't get flustered, don't, you know, have a bit of patience. And this is exactly why I was telling you all to add the peanut butter at this stage. I added it because it would have been very hard. It would have been doable. You would have been able to do it, but it would have been very hard for you to get the peanut butter incorporated at this stage. You see what's happening here in my pot, and you want to use a white pot also, eh? I am not editing and jumping steps on you all. I am carrying you all through this entire process for you all to see how easy it is to do. Imagine trying to get 4 tablespoons of peanut butter incorporated at this stage into this. For granola or granola clusters, you just want to do exactly what I'm doing here, but you want to bake it off. You want to keep monitoring it while it's in the oven. That's how they get the loose granola. Okay? For the bars, it's a no-brainer. Bake it in the dish, just like how I'm going to do it. The only difference is you are going to bake it. Yeah? So it's moist and nice. All our oats are fully covered. Now back to that board for you all to see all the ingredients that I have. So I have some pumpkin seeds. It's known another name internationally. That's the green one that you are seeing there. I have some dates, pitted dates that I chopped it roughly. I have some almonds or almonds, and I have some dry cranberries. Whichever fruit you like that's dry, get it into your oats, okay? It's that simple. Be it pineapple, anything you love and you have it on hand. If you love ginger, buy the candied ginger and you can chop it somewhat and get it in your oats. So I know you all understood that. The mangoes, the peaches, all of that. A quick tip while I'm here sharing, and it's a health demo. If you ever have headache, you can use 12 of these. It's as powerful, studies prove, as taken to aspirin, okay? As the almond that I'm referring to there. So now we're gonna get everything into this beautiful pan and get ready to get it into our bowl to be refrigerated, to cut it into its nice size, okay? So in goes the dates. You all know dates, it's super sweet, it's loaded with fiber. Naturally sweet, you can use it to sweeten your orange juice and so forth once you're not diabetic. In goes my pumpkin seeds. So gorgeous, the color, that is amazing. My dried cranberries, sugar cranberries, all of it. I'll say it was about a half cup of cranberries and about a half cup of the chopped dates. I'm going to use the nuts, okay? Yeah? And that's all I want on my own. Not going to mess around too much with it. And you just, you know, you kind of incorporate everyone. Looks so good. Looks like a feast. Be careful when you are, like how I added the nuts to this pan, and this is a non-stick pan. Be careful that it doesn't scrape your cookware, okay? These things, they are pretty costly. So just be careful with things like that, and don't use metal objects in your pans and pots like these either. I know persons that will put the various type of seeds in here also. The flax seed, the chia seed and things like that. Or chia seeds and things like that, yeah? Yeah. I have some blueberries on hand, but I don't want to overload this one bit. Keep in mind the peanut butter is sweet, the golden syrup is sweet. And you can also use dried strawberry in here too. So all those other things are sweet. What's going to balance us out in this bar is our beautiful tart cranberries. That's going to just balance us out nicely because everything else is sweet. So we get the tart or the somewhat sourness of the cranberries. Yeah? For a little more added texture, I am going to put a mix of, I know it might sound somewhat foreign. Keep in mind it's granola bar and you can put anything you want in it. That's health conscious basically. Look at the gorgeousness of this. I'm going to put a couple tablespoons on average of some tricolor sesame seeds that I have, okay? I want it in there. Some persons might think it's foreign or it's, you know, but I want it in my own. You can use the white sesame seeds if that's all you have or all that you are getting. I'm going to use it directly from my container, and I'm also going to take the opportunity to show you all how the tricolor blend of sesame seed looks. So this is what it looks like in packaging. Going to get some on there quickly because we don't want this starting to set on us in the pan. And I know you all have seen the difference that it's making as it hits. There is a difference. It was looking somewhat bland, if you will. Even though it was gorgeous, it was looking somewhat bland. And as the sesame seed hits, there's a difference. Keep in mind, the chia seeds and so forth is around the same size basically. Some persons might put flax seed in there also. Okay? So it's into our dish to be refrigerated for 30 to 40 minutes before it's cut. You are supposed to use foil paper or parchment so that it makes for easy lifting out when you are making these. I will not be using any of the two. But you all know I'm very biased and I love parchment paper. So that is what I'll suggest you all use. I'm very biased when it comes to certain things, and parchment paper is a beloved paper of my own for a number of reasons. Okay? And easy like this, we came to the end of this demo. Just let me get it onto my board. Let me just settle this first bit first before I get the top layer in, because remember it's bars and we want it nice and uniform. Okay? This is loaded of goodness with all the preservatives. You all know the health benefits of oats, right? It helps lower cholesterol and so forth. It's good for heart and all these different things. And you can go boast and say you made your own. Remember, the starter is always the oats. Once you can have oats, and then you jump off from there, go add in your other stuff, okay? I want some nice even bars, so I'm taking my time to get it into my pan, into my baking dish. I don't want it just anyhow looking. Believe it or not, the oats looks pretty much like quinoa. It's spelled different to how it's pronounced. In the Caribbean, we was taught to pronounce our words differently, but it's not quinoa, it's quinoa. So guys, I know you all didn't see me get all of it into the dish. It would have been boring for you all to just watch me do that. So it's already in the dish. It's going to be refrigerated for, I'll say, 30 to 40 minutes exact. And then I'll show you guys the final presentation. Of course, look at the loveliness. Who will believe it's homemade? And keep in mind, it isn't yet cut into its shape, into its squares or bars. And this is how gorgeous it looks already. So keep watching, guys. So guys, our gorgeous soft granola bars, they are finished setting. I won't say baking because you all know it wasn't baked. You all heard when I say it was going to be refrigerated for 30 to 40 minutes, and that's exactly what I did. It's gorgeous beyond words. I don't even think any packet stuff could beat this or rival this, honestly, simply because this is pure goodness the way nature intended. No preservatives to keep it on the shelf long, and so forth and so forth. Look at the gorgeousness of the pumpkin seeds and the cranberries. Okay, it's this color simply because remember we added peanut butter, 4 tablespoons to be exact. And what peanut butter does, it darkens because it's a dark thing. Remember that. Okay, so this is what we have, gorgeous beyond words. When it's finished setting in your refrigerator, simply get a knife, a sharp knife. This is the knife I used. Okay, it's just in a sheet, a sleeve, that's why it's looking like that. Or use, you all know this is my beloved tool, those of you that are familiar with my work. This is a bench knife. It's a beloved tool for pastry, for folding of pastry doughs and so forth. So you can use either or. Okay, this one has some measurements on it. I cut it right in the bowl. So this is what you have. Look at the shot of this almond there, whole almond. And this is what we have. So it's very easy to remove also. I did a couple of set, of course. If you are going to feed kids, you can do it. You can cut it. It doesn't matter how you cut it. You can cut it in actual squares. You can cut it in strips like these. It does not matter whatsoever. Very easy to lift out, and I added absolutely no oil or anything. You all saw when I put it in the dish. Okay, so we have some that I'm going to just bring up now, and this is what it looks like. Okay, if you are environmentally conscious, wrap it in some paper, actual paper. Okay, you don't have to put it in plastic. If you are not so, well, it sounds ridiculous or bad or crazy, okay, insane. But if you are not too conscious about your environment, you can put it in some plastic food safe wrap. It's as easy as that, okay? Look at the gorgeousness that we have in under 1 hour, start to finish. If you are going to do this recipe, make these bars following my demo. It's as simple as making a list, writing down what you will need, take it to your food store or supermarket before, get all your ingredients, and then you make it. Remember, I said you can put whatever you like in it, okay? Some persons will even use cereal, things like rice cereal that kids will eat. I don't want to call brand, but you will get the gist of what I'm saying. Remember, you can put chunks of chocolates in there, and so forth and so forth and so forth. Literally, your only limit with these is your imagination, but your base for it must be the way I did it with the butter and the syrup on the stove. That is your jump off. That's your foundation, and then you build from there. Okay. One tip though, when you use the chocolate chip, it kind of, when you are cutting it, it leaves a lot of mess. So be prepared for that. If you are a perfectionist like myself, you may not want to see that, so skip it all together. Okay, it kind of spreads that chocolatey look all over. You can even drizzle some chocolate on the top of it or some caramel. Okay, that's all the tips I have for you all. If you want some more, comment below and I'll help you. For the sake of time, I cannot go into further dialogue on this demo, guys. The pleasure, it was my own. As always, here you are seeing my gorgeous tricolor sesame seeds. As always, the pleasure, it was my own. Food by Chamion, we are all over social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. We also have a YouTube channel, all under one name, Food by Chamion. We have an email address, foodbychamion@gmail.com. Remember, we have a Bristol first branch. If you want directions to there, just comment below and I'll tell you, or even go onto my Facebook page and you'll get the address. I have a phone number, get it on my Facebook business page, Food by Chamion. So if you want to come into direct contact with me, there are several ways you can do so. When you comment, I reply myself. I take time to reply to everyone. I take this time to welcome my new viewers and subscribers and supporters. I love you all. You all are more than a number to me. Any food related issues that you might have, I troubleshoot my recipes with some of my subscribers when necessary. Just comment below on whichever platform. If you can mention my full name, whether Facebook or where, I'll reply for myself. No one replies for me. I do all the responding myself. Guys, a pleasure. It was my own. Until I'm with you all. Thank you all for watching and bye.